I want to help you understand how to explain baptism to people. Now, you won't always need this, but many times you will. And I'm just going to explain to you like we explain it to children, and I'd explain the same thing to an adult. I'm sure you're familiar with baseball. You know, it's home plate, first, second, and third. So if you would picture a baseball field, when a person prays and asks Jesus to come into their heart, they move down to first base. They become a Christian. Now, how do they get to be a Christian? 2 words: Jesus only. Not join the church, just they've trusted Jesus, shed blood to pay for their sins. They move down to first base. Now, when you get on first base, where do you want to go in a baseball game? Well, you want to go to second. Second base is baptism. Now, I always say to children, now I'm going to tell you a little secret. Next time you're playing baseball, I said, you play baseball? Yeah. Well, the next time, when you hit the ball, lay the bat down, don't throw the bat, but just run out across the pitcher's mound to second base. It's much quicker than going way down to first base and then going to second base. And the kids will always grin, say, you can't do that. The umpire call you. I said, right. Before you go to second base, you have to go to first base. Same with God. Before you can be baptized, you have to be a Christian. You have to be a believer. And that's why we call baptism believers' baptism. It's the opposite of infant baptism. Now, many people have been baptized as infants, and really what their parents were doing was a good thing. They were dedicating their child to God. And they were dedicating themselves to God. But the fact is, a little baby doesn't know about sin. They don't know about anything. But we believe the Bible is very clear about this, that first you become a Christian, then you move down to second base baptism. 2 reasons you get baptized. Number 1, to obey God. Now, that's really enough. That's enough. To obey God. That's the real reason we get baptized. And then the second reason, it's our example. Like, take my pen. Imagine my pen is Jesus. When Jesus died, they buried him. 3 days later, God raised him. Now, when a person's baptized, it's just a picture of their old life, sins washed away. Now, the baptism doesn't wash their sins away. The blood of Jesus washed their sins away. And they were raised to walk anew. Like, when you see a person come out to play baseball, they've got a uniform on. You know, the Astros wear the Astros uniform. Another team wears their color uniform. When you see a person baptized with their white baptismal robe on, that's their uniform. They're saying by what they're doing, I am obeying God, and I'm an example that I've trusted Jesus. Then they move over to third base. Third base is where you grow and learn as a Christian. Some people grow a little, some people grow a lot, and some don't grow very much. Now, some people make a mistake. They get out on first base, listen to this, and they run from first to third. They just bypass second base. Now, listen carefully. These people will never have peace. And you know why? They didn't obey. Peace always follows obedience. So what were the 2 reasons you get baptized? Number 1, to obey God. When you obey God, you'll always have peace about it. Ask them to look with their eyes where they are on the baseball field. If they say, well, I just prayed and trusted Jesus, I'm on first base. Okay, now second base is baptism. And what we need to do is you need to think about when you'd like to follow in your baptism. I want you to think about that. You may already know. You may say, I'm ready now. Well, we'll schedule your baptism at church, or you may want to go home and think about it. But now, you've done a great thing today. But you don't let the devil just talk you into saying, well, I'm not going to do that. If you want to obey God and have the peace that comes from obedience, you'll follow the Lord in your baptism. And, you think about it, and we'll talk about it. Well, I hope this helps. You may not always need the baptism information, but, boy, it's good to have it. Let me say also, the baseball field has its, it's not perfect, but it's visual, and it helps people see what they need to see. Well, thank you for watching these videos. Now, the good thing is, you may be needing a little refresher on one of the little items, You say, I want to go back to that gospel presentation again. There's about 2 videos on that, and watch that, or maybe a little help on the commitment or how to pray the prayer at the end. The beautiful thing about these videos, you can just plug in to whatever you need help on. And I want to encourage you to do another thing, if you would. You can tell other friends elsewhere. So you can go to our church webpage, and there's actually going to be an icon or some way you'll see on the home page where they can they can see how to present the gospel to people. And, you know, I've learned this. When I teach classes on evangelism, it's always interesting. People in the class will always be some of them that realize they're not a Christian, and they get saved. So this thing has, you could really help us. I don't want to use the term market, but that's okay too. Anything we can do to help people be reminded they've been entrusted with the gospel. And old First Baptist Pasadena has on its webpage something that will help them take that gospel that God's honored them and trusted them to share and share it. God bless you as you follow Him.